What do you do when all your friends are in serious relationships, getting engaged, getting married, hitting these huge life milestones, having babies, and you're nowhere near there? Well, I don't know what other people do, but I decided to have a kitchen renovation. Alisha Marie, if you don't know, if you're new here, if this is your first video watching, I feel like there's a lot of lore you're missing out on, specifically about my house, so quick rundown. I've actually been living in my house for 9 years. It's crazy how fast time goes by, but it's also crazy to me that some of you have been watching me even before I moved into this house. So comment below when you started watching. Last year I was really wanting a change, and I'm not just talking cutting some bangs, okay? I was thinking I'd love to move, but the problem is I love my house so much. And I'm also grateful that it's been able to be with me through so many different seasons of my life. Like I said, 9 years. Looking back at those old moving vlogs, I'm like, I didn't even know who I was then. Like, I was still such a baby in some ways, and I have grown up so much. I feel like this past year I've had a lot of personal growth. And even though every single room in this house has gone through multiple different eras, okay? Living room had her pink Pepto-Bismol moment, not my brightest moment, iconic nonetheless. One thing that hasn't changed is my kitchen. I've always found it beautiful, and let me get that full disclaimer here. Like, it did not need anything. This is fully cosmetic reasons. I had a leak that was totally separate. If you guys remember, I had 2 leaks, water leaks actually.
What the fuck did you do? Ashley, what the fuck did you do? I don't know what you do to my house.
Completely different reasons. It's not that I needed to do this. This was just something I simply wanted to do. And my word for myself this year, I think, is just invest. Like, invest in myself, invest in my health, invest in my friendships that matter to me the most, even my house, and finding ways I can make the resale value even more eventually one day when I leave. I will say, I'm actually really glad the kitchen hasn't been touched until now, and I'm really glad I haven't touched it, because now I feel like I really know my style, and also not just my style now, but what I'm gonna like the next 5 years, 10 years. And I really tried to go about this not doing things that were super trendy. This all pretty much started when I was scrolling on Pinterest one day and I saw this photo. And I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I think the change that I want to happen is my backsplash. I think I want to change the gray backsplash in my kitchen. That's where it started. And as you can see, it turned into a lot more. If you didn't know, I worked with an interior designer for my bedroom, and that was, what, 2 years ago now? Which is crazy. Her name's Alisa, so shout out to Alisa, thank you so much for everything. I hit her up to help me with the kitchen, and I was like, hey girl, it's been a long time. What are your thoughts? She said yes. Obviously, let's do this. Working with an interior designer was so helpful, not only for me being indecisive, but even her just kind of explaining the process of how this works. And then I used her contractor and his team and stuff, so it's been so nice. And I know not everyone has that. I think I've had some people be like, why are you paying for someone to help you when you can just do it yourself? Oh my God, the way that I wouldn't know anything. And then one thing that I've been wanting to get rid of for a long time is in the dining room on the wall of the kitchen is this black shiplap wall. I liked it. I didn't love it. I knew I would eventually change it. And this is the fun part about having a house. I can paint this black. Hey, let's do it. Me and my dad painted that, and I knew it wouldn't last forever. I actually looked into getting the black wall removed even a year ago, and I didn't realize how much work it was gonna be. And it's not even because the paint is black and that's kind of intense. It's the shiplap underneath. The amount of nail guns like that was used, or nails that was used in the nail gun to like put it up on the wall. Basically, if it's not just taking those off, we would have to fully re-drywall the entire wall. Like, we're talking real construction, not AlishaMarie DIYs. So then I figured, well, if we're already doing the backsplash, easy, let's see if they can also do the black wall and kind of just take that off and whatever. So one thing led to another, and then I quickly realized, I was like, Alisha, you know what? If you're going in on this, you should go all in, because my personality is very all or nothing. I'm looking up inspo, and things that I'm really gravitating towards is just warmth, more earth tones. I know, I feel like I'm falling victim to millennial green, because I feel like it's just a good color, but I wanted to be aware of that, because I'm like, okay, I'm down for like green cabinets or a green tile, but at the same time, I don't want in 6 years me to regret that, because it was super trendy right now. I also really liked the cabinets on top being white, and then the cabinets on bottom being brown and like a darker wood stain. That's something I would have never thought I would do. demo day comes, and the way this all happened in one day, I would have barely had cabinet doors off of the cabinets in the same amount of time that this entire kitchen was demolished. Like, in one day they demolished everything, and it was so good. I was like, okay, officially no going back now. So while all the demolition is happening, I'm given some homework, which is to pick out the exact countertops that I want. So I go over to a stone yard. I've never done that. It's so fun. There's literally like thousands, and I'm not exaggerating, thousands of different just slabs of marble or quartz or different types of countertops in this whole warehouse. The guy helping me was so nice, and he shows me this green, which I fell in love with. He showed me some other ones, but I was like, this is it. I'm so happy with my choice. I think that's one of my favorite things because it has a hint of green, but it's not in your face, and I really feel like it gives some warmth in those earthy tones without being millennial green. I knew I wanted a pop of color, and the countertops are just so good. This actually was crazy, something I was not expecting, but at first I was like, oh, I'm down just to like paint my cabinets. That can be easy. And after all of the math, it was only a tiny bit more to essentially build custom cabinets than just painting what I had initially. Again, I don't know anything, so going into this, I'm thinking the backsplash is gonna be super expensive. I'm thinking the countertops, because they're so beautiful, are gonna be expensive. No, the cabinets were the most expensive. That was even with just painting them and like the labor of having to like remove the paint and then restain it and like all that stuff. It was actually not that much more. It was more, but it wasn't that much more just to have custom ones, which is insane to me. Like I said, by this time, demo's fully done. They're building the new island, they're building the cabinets, and the black wall's down, and now it's time to pick the paint. Again, tell me why I'm psycho. I'm literally insane. I'm leaning towards these like crisp white colors. I'm like, Alisha, the whole reason you're here, and I suck at paint samples. Again, Pepto-Bismol pink. Like, I suck at paint samples because it's not just the sample, it's what it looks like 5 times throughout the day, and depending what way your house is facing, like if the light hits it. So even though my gut's telling me do this bright white, like that's the one I like, however, at the same time, I'm like, we followed my paint instincts before, and clearly they're wrong. So why don't we go with the darkest color? Because I think that will add warmth and it'll make it feel cozy. And again, in the end, you can always change it. I can change paint way easier than I can change a countertop. I put it on my story, and it was so fun having you guys help me just make decisions throughout this entire process. I feel like a lot of you probably have already watched everything in real time on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. So everything's going amazing, so smooth. We're on track, on time, everything's amazing. Counter install day. I'm stoked, I'm excited. And then the one thing you really don't want happening kind of happened. I come downstairs and see it's the wrong countertop. It was beautiful and it looked great with the cabinets, but I was like, that's not the one I ordered. Honestly, I was just like, I hope the one I ordered is still safe and not being cut up or used, because clearly they cut up some and installed it to match the dimensions of my cabinet. So I'm like, oh no, who has mine, and did they cut mine? And oh my god. So stressful for a second, but luckily they located my real ones. Somehow they got switched like through whoever was holding them and stuff and whatever, but they were safe, they were fine, so they swapped them out. And then I felt so bad because the main people I'm working with, they were like freaking out. They're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like this wasn't our team. And I was like, no, I fully believe you. Also, shit happens. Like, I'm so sorry. Again, I think I'd still, by this point, 2.5 weeks in, would still be probably just now getting rid of the cabinet doors. So I'm like, y'all, it's fine. And honestly, other than that, I swear that's the only hiccup we've really had, which is I'm just so thankful. Like, honestly, this whole process, obviously I haven't been having a kitchen to use. In the end, I've had so many moments realizing I'm like, this is so easy for me because I don't have a family. I don't have kids. I'm trying to get ready and get to school while having no kitchen. This is the perfect time in my life to do something as big as like a kitchen reno like this. So obviously I can sit here and talk forever about the process and stuff, but I really think the main thing you guys want to see is the grand kitchen reveal and tour. So let's go downstairs. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is. I am obsessed with this. I love this. It seriously looks even better than I thought it could look. It genuinely looks just like the rendering, but 20 times better. And I was already gagged by the rendering. Like, being here in person, seeing it, I feel like I'm a real life sim. I can't believe it's done. This was the quickest renovation ever. It was about 5 weeks total, which is so fast. I mean, let's start with the island. It looks so much bigger than the last one because if you remember, the last one had cabinets on both sides and it was kind of wasted space. I had some stuff there, but I never really used it. So even though this is the same size as the last island, it just feels so much bigger. You guys know the main thing that I said I wanted was just some more warmth and more character because the last design was very just cold. And I love that I went with the darker wood on bottom. I wasn't sure how it would match with the wood floors. That's something that I was kind of hesitant towards, but seeing it now all finished, it looks amazing. I'm honestly really happy that I went with the green countertop. I was scared of it being so bright, so millennial green, and something that's too trendy, but I really, 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 really love this. It definitely has more of a gray tone to it, so it's not too bright and saturated. And one non-negotiable I had was I was like, I want this to be something that's easy to clean. So we went with a quartz, so it's super easy to clean, easier than the last one actually, and I feel like it looks so much better. One thing that a lot of people had some thoughts on was the fact that I left the upper cabinets white, and honestly, I love it. I love the contrast, and I also think it's a really cool way to make this just feel more unique. I feel like it's different. I haven't really seen that many kitchens like that. And I just feel like if I did dark on top too, it would be too dark in this room. And I really wanted it to still feel bright and airy. So I'm really happy with that. And the best part, these cabinets, they hold so much. When they were building this, they kept saying, you're gonna have so much more storage, you have no idea. And I thought they were kind of exaggerating until I looked. Literally, it's just down to the design of the last cabinets versus this one. I have so much more room, and it's crazy because it didn't take up more space. It's just based off of the design and stuff. So I really am happy with the cabinets. I will say I do, and I'm tall, so like, I need a little stool to get up there. People may know from the vlogs, but I will say the way that this kitchen layout is, this is pretty much as much sun as it gets throughout the day. It doesn't get much more. So I really felt like darker upper cabinets just would have felt too dark, and that's not the vibe I wanted. So I'm really happy with the white. I'm very, very, very happy with the backsplash. I love that the backsplash is covering the range hood. This is something I didn't even know was possible, and I'm genuinely obsessed. Like, I love how it looks so sleek, kind of gives that mid-century modern vibe. Oh my God, there also was a tile that was so pretty, but it had a little bit too much of like a glittery, it kind of gave like Z Gallery vibes, and it was cute, but I was just like, I can't see me liking this forever because it feels too girly and too glitzy. So I like that this has a very pretty sheen, but it's not like glitter. I also am very happy with the grout choice. Who knew there were so many different variations of white? Speaking of range hood, the stove, I've also had so many people ask me if I got all new appliances, and I'm like, I'm so honored you think that. Same stove, obviously different range hood, same fridge, although I just learned fridges have like a 12-year lifespan, and this one's almost done. Who knew? It had to get maintenance this morning. I did get a new sink, which we can get into, but first I want to talk about these pendant lights. I love them. Obviously, I'm going to have everything linked in the description box, and I'll try to find some cheaper options too for you guys for things that were more expensive. I don't even know what it was, a saucer dish thing? It looks like a Frisbee. To me, they're Frisbees. A little UFO spaceship Frisbee. One thing that they did do is, I don't know if you remember how it was before, but the 3 pendant lights there were 3, but they were pretty close here in the center. They took those down, repatched the ceiling, and added these 3 a lot more centered to the length of the island. And I actually feel like visually that helps so much. Everything kind of feel more cohesive. So that was something I didn't even know would make a big difference. And I also love how like centered everything is. One thing I knew I wanted to splurge on was a new sink, and I almost got this super high-tech one, which low-key looked like a bachelor pad thing because it looked like R2-D2. Like, it had water coming out here and then a spot for like a barista way to clean your glasses and all this stuff, but it looked a little too futuristic, a little too modern for this space. So we ended up finding this sink, which I think it's just called like a workstation sink, but that's because it has these 2 little like lips right here, and this is the drying rack. It has all these accessories you can put. So that way you don't have to put the drying rack on the counter. You can just put the drying rack here, and it saves so much space. Which, oh my God, I want to show you the other accessories. Just wait. You need to wash some produce? Oh my God, easy. Move that over there. Oh, you need to chop some veggies? Oh, here, grab a cutting board. Workstation sink. Oh my goodness. Like, so efficient. It goes right into the garbage disposal. It's seriously like, I love my sink. And that's something I never thought I'd ever see in my life. You know, you're growing up and getting mature when you actually do love when things are organized. I don't know what it is about turning 30. This actually makes me happy. And Remy, I get it now. We have some baking things for Ash because she loves baking. She's also filming this. Everyone comment, thanks, Ash. I have way too many plates. Speaking of Ashley, half of these are yours and you haven't taken them, which it's fine. There's room, clearly. If you want them, they're here. This may be my favorite cabinet because not only do we have coffee cups, which I use daily, but we also have a little extra something, you know? I'm also not the only one who's matured when she's hit her 30s. My coffee corner has too. If you've been here from the beginning, it's seen pastel, it's seen Keurig, it's seen lots of things, and this is the sexiest coffee setup I think I've ever had in my life. I will say, I'm not an espresso girl, so I don't really have the desire to get the big espresso thing. I think it's too much work. So I found this Technivorm Mocha Master. It's essentially a Keurig without having to use the cups, essentially, because you just put the grounds in every time. I also got these really cute stainless steel coffee cups to match from Love Ecru. If you're wondering, I also got them all on sale. It did come without a spoon, but they are sending a new one. Also, you guys know I can't really keep plants alive, but I found this website. They're called Easy Plants, and it actually has like a little reservoir in there, so you only have to water it once a month, and then it waters itself. Iconic, right? Also, you may be able to notice that there's no more black wall. It looks so much better. Like, I knew this room was big, but the way I had it before just made it seem so small. The black wall, I feel like the wood was also just visually just so busy. So I love this. I love the print. I love that it kind of gives that mid-century modern vibe. I am sitting on the second most, actually I would say the most controversial thing about this kitchen. These chairs, a lot of people didn't like, but you know what? I'm sorry, I don't know. The first chairs I found I actually really loved, but they were too wide, so we couldn't have 8 chairs. We could only have like 4 really, and I was like, we have a lot of people over, I'd rather just have smaller chairs, it's fine. So I found these on Etsy. They're inspired from a very popular designer, but a lot of people said they felt like school chairs or hospital chairs, so. But you know what? To each their own. But yeah, I really like the vibe in here. I love that it's super minimal. This light really kind of brings in that mid-century modern, just with like the linen touch and everything. And then over here I have a fake plant because again, can't keep plants alive. This one, if I could get a real one, I would, but I've heard they're really hard to keep up. It's like a faux Dracania plant, I believe. I got this one from West Elm. I love it. I love the vibe. I love how it's minimal. Faux plants are expensive, let me tell you. So definitely look up promo codes or discounts or wait until like big holiday sales are happening, because I feel like all of those sites like West Elm, CB2, they always have sales during like major holidays. The curtains in here is something I wish I did. The day I moved into this house, they made the biggest difference in the living room, and here I feel like you can even see just the before and after without the curtains versus with. Seriously, it just makes it feel so dreamy and light and airy, and it makes the minimalism look intentional, and I think that's something that is hard doing more minimal things because it can look empty if it's not done right. And I really love how the like curtains just make it feel in here. And I come in here, I journal a lot, I drink my coffee, and it's just such good vibes in the morning, and I love it so much. Also, I haven't even talked about the dining table. The dining table, I would have never in a million years thought to have it face this direction. I always had it like similar to the island where it just is one long thing, but I feel like having it this way looks so much more elevated, and I can't get over how much better it looks this way, and that's something I would have never done, ever. And clearly this is why, I hired a professional because they know what they're doing. And I was like, I trust you. So yeah, dining room, love it, simple. I still may put a few other things on the walls. I'm trying to decide what exactly, if I want a frame or like a light, a mirror, etc. I don't know, because there's a few spots we could put things, but again, I want it really minimal, so we'll see. We have to talk about the bookshelves though, because I think that's my favorite thing in the whole kitchen. If you remember, the before of these bookcases was so ugly. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, it wasn't ugly. I just didn't love the black. I never did from the second we moved in. I'm proud because I decorated this fully on my own, and I love how everything turned out. I also think I have a new like side hustle or a new career in the works if YouTube ever stops, because I have been obsessed with making these flower arrangements and like these Ikebana vases. I don't know if you can see, but there's these little like spikes in there, and you can just like make certain floral arrangements. And guys, they're real. As you can tell, one's kind of dying, but I'm obsessed. I'm so proud. I went to Home Goods last week. I got some stuff. I filmed a haul on my vlog channel, but I have some, you know, some glasses up here. I have this book from Helmut Newton and just all of his pics. There's a lot of nudes in there. So I really liked this pic though. So, you know, mom and dad, don't look through it. It's art, you know? I do have a frame here, the little DIY I did where I put a photo of Ash and I. We have some wine. Remy's cookbook, go buy it. Amazon link below. Cooking with Remy, this one's signed, and I'm very honored that I'm pretty sure I got the first one that, you know, she had. I love having it out because like my friends are doing shit. Like they're killing it and I love seeing it and I'm so proud of you, Remy. So you should be so proud and everyone go buy your cookbook. Down here, it's kind of messy. I just have some appliances, you know, air fryer, kettle, all the things. Here's another of an Alisha Marie original. They're real flowers. Got them from the farmer's market. Look how cute. Again, I'm gonna link everything. Like I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed, you guys. Those are real flowers. Now these ones are fake. And I will say, I will link this below. I found this site. I wanna say it's like A Floral something something. They have very real looking fake flowers because that's one thing I'm very picky about is I want faux plants to look real, and I still put it on the same little vase. And like, how cute is this? Like I mentioned earlier, it might be hard to tell now, but this side doesn't really get that much bright sun. So I figured the fake flowers here look good. Also, that's kind of the reason why I wanted to add the mirrors because it really brings in a lot more light and it just makes this room feel way bigger too. I will say, I would love your guys' opinion because I really love the idea of a purse bowl here. This is somewhere where over the years, I always just put stuff that like, it just collects stuff. So I really like it. I do feel like it's kind of a lot with all three of these things, but I also like the silver tray. So part of me is thinking maybe I'll move the purse bowl in the laundry room because I come through the garage a lot. Would that look better? Ugh, hold on. Don't look in there, that's messy. Okay, that does look better. I just liked the idea of a purse bowl there, you know, but it's okay. Love the flowers, glasses, Home Goods. Down here we have some more appliances. If you remember the before, this was just filled with candles and clutter and so much. And I'm really glad we did some purging before we started this project. Over here in like the breakfast nook where we have this circle table, it's the same. We didn't change anything. Same light, same table, same chairs. I did move this art piece from the living room over here and I feel like it looks really cohesive. And then we obviously added the curtains and they're over here too. And then I moved this plant over here in the corner, but I already had that one. That one, I wanna say it's from CB2, but it's also fake. I just realized I didn't even talk about the counter stools. These, what I really like about them is it brings in the chrome with the silver here, but then the white here also brings in the white accent, so it just looks a lot more intentional again. My favorite part is the fact that they're so much bigger than the last ones. Like low-key, the last ones, it felt like you were about to like fall off, and there's just so much room for your ass here, so. All right, that is everything that I wanted to show you in my new kitchen. Thank you so much for watching and thank you just for growing up with me. I feel like we all grew up together and it's crazy. Even just thinking back to when I moved into this house 9 years ago, I'm just so grateful whether you watched back then in the apartment or if you just found my channel from this. Either way, I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching and I will see you really soon with a new video. Bye. Ew, bye. You know, just hit the bloopers. You know, lots of, what am I saying? My boob. Is that a bug? Fuck. This is why I don't have like real plants. Oh, not my credit cards just being there. Okay, hold on. Oh my God, ew, I didn't take the grounds out this morning. Technically they're suede, but whatever. Oh, you need to see my new trash can too. Look at this shit. Ah, I'm old. I'm getting excited over a trash can. Okay, we got morning, night. What am I saying? Because obviously they say use, oh my God. You want some coffee? Bye.